Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutapadakamam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sangrajatam Sahagano Raghunatan Vidhantam Siddhivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Visakan Vidamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripasindubhyavecha Patitam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you for kindly coming here for today's program. We are continuing this festival of Radhastami, the appearance of Srimati Radharani. It is not that easy for anyone to understand the appearance of either Lord Sri Krishna or Radharani. The scripture, it says that it's very difficult for 8 kinds of people to understand the transcendental appearance of the Lord. Those who do not have any faith in Krishna, they will not understand the mysterious appearance of the Lord in the world. Those who do not have faith in the scriptures, they also will not understand. Those who do not have faith in Guru, they also won't understand the mysterious pastime of Radha and Krishna. Those who are not able to control their senses, they won't be able to understand the subject matter. Those who are not free from any kinds of violence, they also cannot understand. And those who are not communion in Krishna consciousness, they also won't understand about this pastime. And those who are not eager for hearing and chanting of the Krishna's name, they also very difficult for them to understand about Krishna consciousness. And finally, those who are not eager to have a darshan of Krishna, for them also very difficult. But His Divine Grace, as Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj says, even though it is very difficult, but I'm trying. So it is only by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, Guru and Krishna, somewhere or other we may get a little glimpse of these wonderful pastimes. By the mercy of the Vaishnavas, we may be able to cross over all the obstacles of life. Whatever said and done, but it is very importantly, it's been mentioned by Jiva Goswami in the Gopala Champu. He says 7 kinds of beings are like 7 spears in my heart. He says, Nirpo Nahari Sevita Vyaya Krita Nahari Arpaka Kavir Nahari Varnaka Shrestha Guru Nahari Asrita. Beautifully he says that a person, a king, who is not serving Lord Krishna is like a spear in my heart. And number 2, a miser who is not giving anything for Krishna, he also like a spear in my heart. And number 3, a poet, a kavi, who is not using his skill to glorify Lord Krishna, he also like a spear in my heart. Number 4, a person who accepts Guru, but they do not accept Krishna. They also like a spear in my heart. And number 5, a person who is claiming to be having all good qualities, but they're not eager for the service of Krishna. They also like a spear in my heart. And number 6, a person who claims to be intelligent, but they do not surrender to Krishna. They also like a spear in my heart. And number 7, who have surrendered to Krishna, but they do not follow the bhakti set by the gopis, aided by Radharani in Vrindavan. You do not follow the bhakti shown by the Radharani and gopis of Vrindavan. He said they also like a spear in my heart. In this way, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized that everyone should follow the bhakti shown by the devotees in Vrindavan. He told Sanatana Goswami, Itahai sadhana bhakti dvite prakara eka vaidi bhakti raghanuga bhakti hara. He says that sadhana bhakti is very important for living entities to come up from all obstacles of life, to connect themselves into Krishna consciousness. And the sadhana bhakti got 2 divisions. One is called Vaidhi bhakti, another one is called Raghanuga bhakti. The Vaidhi bhakti, you do things according to scriptural injunction with the rules and regulation, and you do when you have been told to do. And somebody tells you to do, then you do. And Raghanuga bhakti is spontaneous. Even you are not been told to chant Hare Krishna, you are not been told to come and hear the message of Lord Krishna, but spontaneously you are doing this thing. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ragadmika Bhaktira Muktya Prajavasi Jane Tara Guna Anutara Anurata Bhaktira Raganuganame. He said between this Vaidhi Bhakti that you are doing after you've been told and Raganuga Bhakti, you spontaneously you got that attraction towards Krishna. He said between these two, he said Raganuga Bhakti is the best. Tat tat avadi muk bhaktira yadri labhyam. Again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued that if anybody wants to practice bhakti, they should look into the Vrindavan, how the devotees in Vrindavan, Brajavasis, how they have practiced the bhakti. And he says that among these devotees who have practiced the bhakti in Vrindavan, he says Radharani, those who are in the Madhurya mood, mellow of Madhurya, rasa of Madhurya, he says they are the best. And he says why we should follow the bhakti in Vrindavan, because that bhakti is very easily to be conducted, very easy only, not anything to do with your rules and regulations, nothing to do with your rituals of to find the right time, right place, right moment to practice your bhakti. But this bhakti shown by Radharani in Vrindavan, he said that is the best. Then he gave an example, he says, Bhaya Antara Yare Dvite Sadhana Bhaya Sadhaka Sadhana Dehe Sravana Kare Sravana Kirtana. He says in Vrindavan, the gopis, headed by Radharani, Bhaya Antara, the Bhaya is something outside, and Antara is something inside. Outside they were looking like an ordinary household people. They have got a family, they got all kinds of duty, commitment in their life. They have to take care of their children, they have to cook for the children, the family, and keep the house clean. They got all the activities inside the house. So externally they were moving around like an ordinary people, but internally they were always thinking of Krishna. Every moment, they never even a moment they have forgotten Krishna. He says that is a very easiest method to follow. Prabhupada give an example. He said Bhakti Parasunubhava Virakti. Unless a person understands the importance of Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya, somebody may have that kind of bhakti. They like the devotion, but they may not do it properly in their life, due to the uncontrol of senses. Bhakti is like a bird, and vairagya, detachment, and knowledge is like a two wings of the bird. The bhakti bird cannot fly unless you got vairagya and also knowledge, jnana and vairagya. So there are many religions, many organizations, many so-called, spiritual leaders may be around the world. They may be speaking about bhakti, but they may be lacking in, knowledge how to do bhakti properly for the pleasure of the Lord, how to be detached from all kinds of material, attraction. So the Prabhupada says that, Krishna consciousness is very simple. He gave an example is that, there's somebody, they're married, a couple, husband and wife, they're living together, they're married. But at the same time, the wife has got a secret lover. She has got another lover outside. Now she is serving the husband very carefully so that he will not find out she got another lover outside. But while she's serving him, she's always conscious of that person, what he is doing, what time I'm going to meet him, how am I going to meet him. In this way, Prabhupada says, while she is serving him nicely and everything, at the same time she also contemplating the meeting of that person outside. So in this way, Prabhupada says, slowly one day she will run away from here, she will go to the lower. He says, similarly, we have got so much indulgence in the material world, we are doing so many material activities, we are attached to so many things. We're finding it so difficult to give up in the material world, even though we know we came to the world zero, we go back also zero, nothing we're going to take with us, but despite with all this understanding, somewhere or other we are not able to give up any of this material attachment. Prabhupada says, now you bring in Krishna into your life. Just like that lady, the woman, she is serving the husband very carefully, but at the same time she's thinking of that boyfriend outside. And one day she will run away with the boyfriend. Similarly, you come, you take care of your family, take care of job, and take care of everything in your life. But at the same time, also be conscious of Krishna all the time, conscious of Krishna all the time. And Krishna says, Tesam satata yuktanam bhajanti pratipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam enamamupayanti te. He said, I will give you the intelligence. If you got time today, go back to your house and look into the Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, text 10. Krishna says, I will give the intelligence to my devotees, how they can come back to me. So Krishna will give you intelligence how to progress more in the path of Krishna consciousness. Provided while you are taking care of your family, while you are taking care of other responsibility, duty in your life, then always you try to bring in Krishna into your life. And it's very easy when you wake up in the morning, you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. You're going to shower while bathing, you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Then you are making breakfast for your family member while cutting your vegetable, while doing your cooking. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now you are going driving to your work, while driving. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And easily you finish your 16 rounds. Whether it's a quality or not quality, secondary matter. Nama Apurada Yuktanam Namani Varandi. That same holy name of Krishna will make everything perfect in your life. Importantly, that you got that kind of desire that life is more going very miserable in the world. Life is very unpredictable in the world. Anytime the call may come that I have to leave the world. And where do I go from here after leaving the world? It's very important subject matter. We are always very careful and very conscious all the time. What is next? What is next? What is next? We are making plans for 10 years, 20 years. Even we are buying insurance, for protection in the world. But after leaving the world, no insurance, nothing is going to protect you. But we are going to make, continuing our journey. Krishna said, Dehinosmin yadade kaumaram yabanam jara tadadiyantara prapti. Tatra dhirasnamo yati. That continuation, the journey is going to be there. But if a Krishna is there in your life all the time, Krishna says, Anta kale chama mimam, maramutva kalevaram. A person dies when leave the body, they think of me. they will come back to me. So always you should keep in touch in Krishna consciousness. However, it is that, you got all the time in your life. You don't need to separately trying to find time to take your beats and everything. You are very busy. You got a lot of other engagement in your life. The moment you get up, sit in your bed. Don't call out your wife. Don't call out your children. All these things are problem in our life. The moment you call out so many problems, they're going to say it to you. But Krishna consciousness is, is very blissful, very happy way of living. That is why, Krishna is coming in the form of Radharani, and she is the best. When Jayadev Goswami, Jayadev Goswami is, a son of Narayana Sastri and Kamalabai. Former life he was a Vyasadeva. He was born to this family because husband and wife, Narayana Sastri and Kamalabai, they did not have any children. So they prayed to the Lord. In fact, the wife, Kamalabai, she prayed to Krishna that I need to get a son for my family. We don't have any children. And then the next day night, Krishna went into the dream of Narayana Sastri, the husband, that whatever your wife desire, prayed for, I will fulfill the desire. And the next day morning after woke up, Narayana Sastri was very upset with his wife. What do you go and ask from Krishna? We are meant to pray to Krishna for without, selfish interest. But what did you go and ask? He said, what am I going to ask just for a baby, for a child? Then Krishna again appeared in his dream, and then, he, rebuked, Narayana Sastri, why you angry with your wife? She asking for a child, there is nothing wrong, now you see, Dasarat, King Janaka, all the great king, they have done so many different yajna for a child. And she's only asking for Krishna conscious child. What is the difficulty here? And then he said, don't worry, I myself, Vyasadeva will appear in your family. So the child born, Jayadev Goswami, from the very beginning, his life, he was very interested in Krishna consciousness and chanting bhajan to everything. And one day he wrote a beautiful poem. He wrote that, though like Krishna is writing, he wrote a poem, my body is burning due to the separation of you, Radharani. By putting your lotus feet in my head, that my burning will be diminished. So he wrote that poem. Then he read his own poem, to see that my body is burning in separation. By putting the lotus feet of Radharani on my head, that burning sensation will be diminished. And he felt very bad to see that one, because he felt that Krishna is the supreme, and he has a woman's foot, one woman feet is going to be on the head of Radharani. Krishna, he says, that is not very good. And he erased this thing, and then he went back to the Ganga for bathing. And when he was bathing in the Ganga, Krishna appeared, in his house, as an ordinary man. And Krishna told, Kamalabai, his wife, to bring a note and pen. And then Krishna wrote the same thing. My body is burning due to the separation of Radha. By putting, food on my head, then the body in the burning sensation will be diminished. So he wrote the thing and then left it there, and then he left. When Jayadev Goswami came back to the house, and after breakfast and everything, he told the wife to bring the pen and paper. She brought the thing again, and he saw that it was written there, the same thing. And he scolded the wife, already thrown away this thing, who have written this thing? He said, no, you only, came back, because Krishna came in the same form as Jayadev Goswami. So you came and then you wrote this thing and then you went back. He said, no, I did not do that. And then, so in this way, they realized that, Krishna likes this thing. And then again, he wrote, and then there was a king in the country. And then he also writes a different poem. And then, so one day they thought, which poem to be, established superior. And they put the two poems at the lotus feet of, Lord Nrsimhadev. And the Lord, the next day morning, they saw that, that Jayadev Goswami's poem at the lotus feet of the Lord, the other one, on the ground, on the floor, and they chosen this poem. And then again, they were different, a Pandit Brahmana, he came and then he says, how you can write in this manner? Krishna is the supreme, and a woman's feet, going on the head of Krishna. That is not very good, he says like that. So he says that the only way is that you throw away that poem into the Ganga. So Ganga Devi brings it back, and then I agree that this is the one that the Lord likes it. So they throw away in the Ganga. Then the Ganga Mata, she brought back the poem, and then in this way, Lord Shiva was there, and Krishna was there, and then Lord Shiva wanted to test him again. Jaidev Goswami, Krishna says, "Why you are troubling my devotee? I like this poem very much. I like Radharani so much. She loves me so much. I love Radharani so much. And then I like Radharani's foot, on my head. In this way, things are settled. That even though Krishna is supreme, Radha is, Purna Sakti. Krishna is the Purna Saktiman. That means Radharani is the power and Krishna is the possessor, is the owner of that power. Prabhupada beautifully, Prabhupada writes in the purport, he says, for the Purnaman, for the Purna Sakti or Purnaman Sakti, he says, without, the power, the supplier of the power also no good. Without the supply of the power, also no good. He says they are like the sun and sunlight. Without sun, sunlight is no good. Without sunlight, sun also not there. In this way, they were together. They were one at one time. Finally, I have to say that they're separated to give the pleasure among each other, and both of them again they came back together 500 years ago. Atayeva sebava angikarakari sade nijalancha Gauranga Sri Hari. They come back again in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the same mercy of the Lord can be attained by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. That Hare refers to Srimati Radharani. When we're chanting, we're asking for Srimati Radharani to kindly engage us in the wonderful transcendental service of Krishna. So to overcome all the obstacles of life, to develop spiritual emotion into your life, very important that you take up Krishna consciousness, take Radharani quite seriously in your life, and surely your life will be blessed. Thanks again for kindly being here for today's wonderful program. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Pramanande.